Defense stocks have thoroughly outperformed the S&P over the past 3 months, despite worries about government cutbacks. Here to talk about what's driving the sector is Neal Dihora. He's an analyst from Morningstar. Welcome, Neal. And tell me, a lot of people worried about sequestration and its effect on defense stocks, but if anything, those stocks have risen. What's going on?
Well, I think the one thing we got to take back is that we started this process in 2011 with the debt ceiling crisis in August of that year, and we've known about these cuts for at least that period of time. And so I think what the market's really doing here is we've sort of discounted these over the last couple of years, and now we've sort of embedded the downside in the prices. But I think we've seen some positives out of the DoD and the government. One was when they passed the full year spending authorizations, I think Congress gave the Department of Defense some flexibility in managing the sequestration and other cuts that are required. So that's a good thing, because when you have flexibility, the department can figure out what they want, what they don't want, and contractors can react accordingly.
Well, let's talk about stocks right now, actually. Lockheed Martin, now they had softer sales in the first quarter, but they had margin expansion. Aren't they going to need to grow that top line in order to get multiple expansion?
You know, I don't think so. I think Lockheed Martin is a pretty cheap stock on an earnings multiple basis. They pay a pretty high dividend. They actually have a reasonably strong backlog in terms of international and domestic work. They're the number one IT provider to the federal government for the last 18 years. I don't see why that can't continue. And their cash flow generation's been really, really awesome. So I think they can really pay for all the things they need to pay for and still give back to the shareholders. And I think that's what the community's telling you.
And Northrop Grumman shares are up around 24% in the past 3 months. Can they keep it up?
You know, I don't think so. I mean, Northrop's up a lot because they want to buy back about 25% of their cap in shares, and they've been buying back aggressively over the last 2 years already. But they're in sort of the business that serves other prime defense contractors. They don't have that many prime positions themselves, and I think the stock has underperformed compared to others until recently. And so I think we're just seeing sort of or catching up, if you will, of that name. I mean, Northrop's a great company, but like I said, I just think they're up because they're just going to buy back a lot of shares.
Considering what's going on in North Korea as well as Syria, it seems as though Raytheon and their missile business would be in the sweet spot of the defense sector right now. Would you agree?
Well, I don't know if the sweet spot. I mean, Raytheon is a great company. They do a lot of technological services to the other prime defense contractors as well. Their missile business is a great business, but it's not, one or anything like that. They have 15,000 different contracts. The top 50% are made up of 200 some contracts. So they have a lot of different contracts. They're pretty well diversified, and I don't think one or the other contract's really going to make the difference. But Raytheon's a good company. They do all great things. All these defense guys are real good managers of shareholder capital. They make a lot of cash flow, and their businesses aren't that bad.
All right, but if you had to choose just one that you would recommend the highest right now, what would it be?
Yeah, my sense, I still like General Dynamics as my favorite name in the space. They went through some troubles in 2012 and self-inflicted wounds. I think 2013, they're turning those things around. They got that Gulfstream Aerospace business that has nothing to do with defense. The other businesses that do have something to do with defense, I think, are stable to basically fixing their issues. And so I think that sort of name catches up here.
Thanks a lot, Neal.
Thanks.